Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Taurus, our card tonight is the 5 of Wands, which has everything to do with strife, right? Some kind of stress, a little bit of trouble, right? Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves are going to tell us. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And also if you'd like to hit the like button or leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. All right. I just like to give this a little twirl so I can kind of get an idea of overall where we're going to be going here. So we have kind of this real desire to change some things. We have people riding horses. This one right here, you can see the horse is kind of standing. Now, here's the horse up here with nobody on it. You can see right in there. So the horse to me represents kind of, well, yeah, if you could imagine, like getting your little satchel packed up and getting the saddle on the horse. And this is an intentional thing, right? Because there are a lot of steps to this, which I've learned recently. My daughter's been taking some riding classes and I watched them saddle the horses, and it's more involved than I imagined. So it's intentional. Yes. Saddling up the horse, getting on the horse, going out into wherever, the unknown, right? Into the future. And so when I see that we have kind of this cycle of being on the horse is moving, you're riding the horse. There is a time where things kind of slow down. You're kind of maybe meandering a little bit and then off the horse altogether. So I do feel like there has been a real desire for change. There's been maybe some fundamental things within your life being moved around. Quite literally, could be that you moved to a new place, or, maybe you were living with somebody, you moved out, or maybe you're moving in with somebody. It could be the beginning or the end of a relationship, the renewal of a relationship, a new job, an extra job, a side hustle, whatever it is. It feels like there was definitely a wake-up moment where, yeah, you felt like, okay, I'm going to be intentional here. I'm going to enact some change. I'm going to put this thing into motion, okay? So then, now I see as you're getting further into that movement, right? It is slowing down a little bit, and maybe you are coming to the place that you had been hoping to find, right? You're already moved in. All of the boxes are being unpacked, right? You're starting to settle into things. And it does. It could feel really scary right now. It can feel like you don't really know, is this going to work? Does this feel right? Do I feel like I made the right choice? Or, maybe I just try to kind of, you know, settle in here, give it some time, and then decide, is this the right thing? Maybe I go back. Maybe I, you know, have to change some aspects of whatever's going on. But I do feel like there is a sense of relief. That's the biggest thing, is you've gotten through the big hurdles, right? You've done the packing, you've loaded the truck, you've gotten the things off the truck, you're there, you're, you know, you're kind of envisioning what this might look like when it all comes together. And now it might not be that you've actually moved, but yes, this is some aspect of your life that you have, you know, really changed. And that period of time from whatever the big transition is, and then there's that after period that feels, you know, it can feel kind of, you know, off-putting. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever, when you were a kid, ever went away to like summer camp or, you know, went to go stay with your grandparents for the summer or whatever, and you're excited, you head out, you get there, and then that first night where you're just laying there, it's quiet, everybody's a little bit homesick, you don't know, am I really gonna like this? I don't know what it's even gonna be like. Am I gonna like the people, or are they gonna like me? You know, and there's that fear, that's excitement, that unknown, and I feel like that's kind of where you're at, right? But I feel a real sense of, well, you're a Taurus. You Taurus people, you lovely, beautiful Taurus people. You don't do well when things become stagnant. You're definitely not a sign that can stay in a fixed state for very long, right? Always moving, always adapting, changing, transforming, reimagining, and following the whims of your heart, right? So I do feel like this is not an unknown place to be. It's not like it's the first time you've changed your whole life, right? Or a big aspect of your life. So I'm excited to kind of see where this will take us. Now we have a person up here, and I almost feel like this is kind of maybe an older person, has a feminine energy, has the kind of energy of a seer, maybe of a grandmother, an auntie, somebody who's lived their life, a lot of their life, been through some things, you know, maybe even things that you don't know about. But they are no stranger to strife and struggle and that Five of Wands energy. They're very honest. They'll tell you what you don't want to hear, but in a way that is very loving. This is a person that you trust through and through. You know that they would not steer you wrong. They won't sugarcoat things. You know, if you brought somebody home for the first time and, you know, they met them, and they're not going to be mean, right? But that's not the person for you. They might be a good friend, they're a lovely human being, but they're not for you. You just watch, it's not going to work out. And you maybe really never like that very much. But I think that you respect it. And I think that you yourself, as you've gotten older, have become very much in this energy where, now you're not going to go rain on anybody's parade. You're not going to like actively seek out people in your life to kind of, you know, come down on about their choices or the configuration of their life dynamic. But you're also not going to lie about it. right? If you think it's a bad idea, you're going to tell them. Now, you won't go out of your way to tell them, but if they ask you, right? If they say, hey, what do you think about whatever? What do you think about this? You're going to tell them on the practical side, the spiritual side, the higher implications, the long-term implications, and so on. And I think you really get this energy from being around somebody in your life who was very honest. And I think you admired that. I think that, you know, being somebody who can just say the things that are hard to say in a way that does as little damage as possible, right? There's something to be said about it, because I feel like you end up going to bed at night not thinking about, I should have said this, I should have said that, feeling like you misguided somebody, you lied, fibbed, omitted, whatever. Now, not everybody needs to know everything. That's not what I mean. But I do think that, you know, when we get to a place in our life where we can just say things how we see them or feel about them, but also have the wisdom to know and convey that, hey, I also might be wrong, right? Or not speaking on things that we don't know about, right? I don't know that person. I'm not going to even begin to form an opinion or give you any kind of advice about something I don't know anything about. There's a lot of power in that, okay? So I get this energy of really feeling like there's a clean heart. And what does that mean? Yeah, going to bed at night, not worrying about what you said, because what you said came from a very honest and true place within self. Okay? Now, do not mistake this with being harmful to people, telling them what it is, keeping it real to the point that you are bullying somebody, or you are pointing out parts of them that maybe are undeveloped, or they find a lot of pain, guilt, shame. That's not what I mean at all, right? And we know the difference. We do. And sometimes Taurus, here's the thing. Every Taurus person I've ever known, I was married to one. I'm not now. He passed away. So he was a lovely, lovely person though. And very fiery, very fiery, very fiery demeanor about things, sharp tongue. Okay, not the only Taurus I've ever known. And definitely I would say every Taurus so clever with words, so clever with perceptions. This is why I think Tauruses make the ultimate artists, ultimate musicians and songwriters and poets. And, there is a ability to really look at the world around you and perceive things so clearly, and put them into words, right? Or at least communicate them. Communicate an energy, a vibe, an emotion, concepts. And sometimes, that can be, if you are pushed a little too much, right? If somebody thinks that they can step to you, and you're not going to, match that energy. I think of battle rapping, right? Total Taurus arena right there, being able to just absolutely destroy somebody with your words. So you have to temper yourself, right? And I think you know this, and especially as you've gotten older, I think that you're acutely aware of how you affect people because you have such an ability to communicate and really connect to somebody deeply, mind, body, spirit. And so you have to be careful with that power. And I think that you are. I absolutely do. So use it for good. Use it for good. I know you will. Now up here we have, it looks like L-E. Okay, L-E. So that might be initials or part of a word, or, you know, I don't know. You tell me. Now we have somebody, are they sitting? No. Well, you know what? Now I'm looking at it. It looks like a nest, and it looks like a little baby bird. And then above it, it looks like we have maybe a goose, like a goose mama over top of their little baby. So we also have up here, it looks like a peacock. So we have the birds. We have lots of birds. We also have a person sitting here, and it looks like they are lighting candles. They also have a bird in their lap. Okay, so the candles are the illuminating candles. Always, to me, this is a sign of revelation, realization, clarity. Okay, now we have a person with a bird sitting on their lap, so they have a message, right? And this is something you can imagine, like an animal sitting on your lap, all warm and cozy and trusting, and they're kind of, you know, resting, or like in my case, my cats, if I sit down, they will come, they will find me and they will get in my lap and they snore. Both of them do a little bit of snoring. So I always have these warm, cozy kittens. Well, they're not kittens, they're pretty old, but I think of them as my kittens still. And yeah, there's just like such a beloved trust there. And so I feel like this is a warm message. It is a loving message, and it is something, and it's right here towards the rim, which is the metaphysical, which is the spiritual. And I feel like this is really kind of, it's such a sweetness. And I'm trying to think, because we have this mother energy over here. We have the growing of, you know, a small individual, a child, a baby, a beloved being, right? Your own child, your grandchild, maybe inner child. But I do feel like you are covered in this mother energy, in this unconditional love, in this feeling of, I will do whatever I have to for you, right? I would walk the earth for the rest of my days with no shoes, with nothing to eat or drink if I had to make sure that you have a good life, to make sure that you have all that you need. And I feel like there's just this kind of really divine feminine energy. Now we also have the peacock, which is very much related to Juno, another mother goddess energy. And so I look at all of this, and I feel like it's something that, now even if you are not a woman or you don't consider yourself a mother, I feel like this is something that this kind of motherly quality, this caretaker, this you know, kind of keeper of all, the one within the group, your small community, your chosen family, your family, you are the one that is, you know, often taking care of all things. You might be the one that's putting on holidays. You might be the one that's, you know, watching the kids. I can imagine, in my head, I immediately thought of, like, you know, one of the grandkids, they skin their knee and they come running immediately to you because they know you will be careful with them. You will clean their wound carefully. You will make sure that they are, you know, distracted and laughing and smiling while it's happening so they're not crying. And, you know, you carefully place a Band-Aid, a little Neosporin, a little Band-Aid, right? And you are just so personable and beloved to so many people around you. And I feel like through this energy, it is almost kind of like you have this bright shining light. You are just, there's a divinity emanating from you, and you attract that energy. You attract it. And I just also want to say, I'm just imagining your aura is very green and purple. There's kind of a smearing of the green and purple. And it's just such a royal, vibrant, lively, and whole. There's a wholeness, a holistic feeling here. It's kind of almost like a woman that is, you know, maybe like 8 months pregnant. She's not 9 months. You just absolutely are so uncomfortable, right? But at 8 months, yes, you have that wholeness, right? There's just just such a beauty to women in that state. You know, there's life there. There's such a vibrance and abundance of life, and you're glowing, and you're not to the point where you're pretty uncomfortable, but not super uncomfortable. And there's an ease, right? You can imagine the Empress sitting upon her throne full of life, and everything around her in bloom, and lush and gorgeous, and love and love and love. Yes, I do. I feel like this is the energy that you kind of, it pours out of you. And I think people come to you. They come to you for support. They come to you for advice. They come to you because they know you will listen to them, you will hear them, and you will accept them. You will love them. You will help guide them. Okay? And through this, I feel like you have your own guidance. You are very in tune with that mother energy, that Sophia, right? The divine feminine consciousness, the feminine aspect of God. And it is one of great intuition, of psychic ability, of creation, and, you know, as we know, with goddesses like Kali, of destruction. There is a build and destroy, and build and destroy. Even the queen of discs, right? This kind of mother earth energy, Gaia. There is life, and there is the destroying. There, where whatever does not belong any longer, what has become tedious, damaging, corrosive, the mother will pluck it out and discard it, right? Will destroy it, transform it. You know, you can think of, of Kali, of doing what must be done. And that is an act of love. And so, you know, I feel like in this, you draw in the inspiration, right? You are receiving messaging. You are having visions. You are having dreams. You know things without knowing them. It is part of this overall state that you are in. And it is a beautiful thing. You are a beautiful thing. And absolutely, I do. I feel that every person's life that you are in, you make it better. You absolutely do. And We have the number 6 up here. I keep staring at it. I'm like, gosh, that's like the perfect 6. So we have the 6. We have, let's see, what else? I think that's it for numbers that I saw. We also have, it looks like a large S. A large S. We also have a person here carrying 2 cups. So we have the 2 of cups. We have a love, luxury love, or at least on the road to luxury, right? So there is a belovedness as well. I feel like you have a lot of love in your life. If it's romantic, family, friendship, of God, of self, lots of it. Overflowing, an abundance. Okay, let's see. We have the S again. So the S, I feel like, is maybe a name. I wonder if you have an S name or a prominent S sound in your name. So we have the number 75. And I feel like there is a situation with somebody lying to you. I see we have the face here with the long nose. And I think you know that they're lying, but you are giving them grace. I feel like it's a situation where maybe something's going on with them. Something pretty major. Maybe this is how they're dealing with that stress, that whatever it is, that it's traumatic. It feels traumatic. And I feel like whatever it is, they're guarding themselves. They are maybe trying to kind of find themselves, their identity, but there's a sense of not being truthful about maybe not big things, but it seems like little things. And where I think most people are like, well, I lose confidence in that person because they're lying. I think you see it as a direct symptom of whatever they're going through. And so you give them grace because you love them. And you understand they have something happening, and it is very painful. And they're reacting in a way that's not ideal, but this is how they're coping. And, you know, you're willing to be there for them, you know, despite their maybe kind of fibbing or white lies or whatever. Now, we also have some fish up here. So I do feel like there's going to be an opportunity here to take on some little side gigs, you know, maybe doing some like little weekend events or, you know, whatever it is. I do feel like that will be coming up, and it will be a good idea for you to take those opportunities, because I think it will help build onto maybe a larger goal. You know, maybe you're trying to get into a new industry or kind of secure position within the industry that you are already in. You're getting more experience. You're learning how to do maybe other jobs within. Also, just being able to have this for your resume, right? Like, hey, I did all these, you know, events or whatever it is. I'm thinking as a waitress, because I waitressed for most of my adult life. So you do, when you get like a catering job or, you know, like bartending at some event or whatever, you take whatever works for you and pays well, right? So anyways, Taurus, we're going to do our what is it called? The self-care affirmation cards. And I'm just going to flip through and we'll see where we land. And it says, wind of spirit. I breathe deeply. As I inhale and exhale, my body is refreshed. My breath is always present to calm me. Like a wind of the spirit, I am connected to the source of life. I am vividly alive. I am vividly alive. I like that. I am vividly alive. Yes, yes, yes. All right. I don't feel vividly alive at all. I'm just going to say that. This heat, it's been so humid where I'm at. It's getting me. Yesterday I was out weed whacking. It was like 94 degrees and humid as heck. Oof, I was sweating. I slept so well. I just could not go on last night. Once we finally got the baby to sleep, well, she's not a baby. She's 4. Once we got the baby down, and I hung out with my husband for a few hours, and then finally I was like, I'm going to lay all the way down and hopefully I can stay awake so I can read for a while. And next thing I knew, it was like 4:30. I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, well, I passed right out. So anyways, yes, Taurus, I want to tell you I love you and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to bring you these messages. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next reading is coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you would like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you, especially if you're new to the channel. Definitely shout it out in the comment section. All right. Taurus, I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.